December 8th, 2004, a band known as Damage Plan were playing at the El Rosa Villa nightclub in Columbus, Ohio. The band started the gig with their song known as Breathing New Life. They started playing, but soon after they started, former Marine Nathan Gale, who was 6'5", jumped over the 7.5-foot wall of amps and ran across the stage carrying a Beretta 9mm handgun and shot guitarist Daryl Lance Abbott, or known by his stage name Dimebag Daryl, in the back of the head 3 times and shot him in the hand once. Gale kept firing as members of the band charged him. Gale ended up killing 3 other people and injuring 2 other people. He also took the band's drum tech John Nat Brooks as his hostage. Eventually, Officer James Nigmeyer showed up to the scene without backup and shot and killed Gale. It turns out that Gale had 35 rounds left, which means he probably wanted to kill more people. At first, police thought the reason Gale shot Daryl was that he thought that Daryl caused the breakup of his favorite band, Pantera. However, the police investigation revealed that Gale was a schizophrenic and thought that members of Pantera were stealing his thoughts. Unfortunately, the officer who killed Gale developed PTSD from the incident, which led to him leaving the police force. In 2011, he got a civilian job and was still seeing a counselor from the trauma he experienced on that day in 2004. Daryl is considered to be one of the greatest guitarists, and next year will be the 20-year anniversary of his passing and the other victims' passings. On May 28, 1977, singer and actor John Davidson was performing at the Beverly Hills Supper Club in Southgate, Kentucky. Davidson was performing in the Caribet Room, which was full of people. In fact, the amount of people in the room passed the fire code limit. At 8:30 p.m., a wedding reception ended in the Zebra Room of the club. Participants in the wedding complained that the room smelled smoky and was also just warm. Just before 9 p.m., an employee also smelled the smoke and opened the Zebra Room, which was stupid. Because of this, the oxygen in the Zebra Room gravitated toward the ceiling, which caused a fire. As the fire spread, employees urged participants to leave the building. However, since the building was overcrowded, it blocked exits and prevented people from leaving. In the Caribet Room, the people in there were just panicked, which led to even more people getting trapped, which unfortunately led to their deaths. At around midnight, the roof of the building collapsed, and finally, at 2 a.m., the fire was under control. Unfortunately, the flames of the fire killed 165 people, and the majority of the victims died in the Caribet Room. Luckily, Davidson escaped out of a back door that led to the dressing room. An investigation revealed that the fire was not caused intentionally. However, the result of this led to a movement to improve fire codes in the U.S. The family's victims received $30 million in first-class action, which led to a lawsuit. The lawsuit resulted in a settlement of $6.7 million. The property where the former supper club stood turned into apartments and complexes, and where the Caribet Room stood was turned into a fountain in memorial of the 165 victims of this deadly fire. It's August 8, 1992. A concert that had high anticipation hit Montreal, Canada. 2 of the most famous bands, Guns N' Roses and Metallica, were playing at Olympic Stadium. After the opening band performed, Metallica came on. It was during their song Fade to Black when everything went to hell. Frontman James Hetfield was standing on top of a pyro grate when it went off. Basically, since he walked in the flames, he received 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his arm and hand. Immediately after the accident, Hetfield was rushed to the hospital, and the stage faded to black also immediately after the incident. But this was even the worst part. Guns N' Roses were supposed to play, but there was a 3-hour break in between sets because of the accident. Guns N' Roses entered the stage, however, there were sound problems, and also Axl Rose, one of the band members, left early because of a sore throat. Fans started a riot by going into the street and flipping over cars, smashing windows, stole from stores, and even set fires. Police eventually showed up and stopped the riot. However, by the time they showed up, the damage had been very expensive. After the incident, Metallica blamed Guns N' Roses for causing the fire, and Guns N' Roses guitarist wrote in his book that it was actually a huge issue for me because I lost face with everyone in Metallica. On October 6, 1992, the tour ended and the 2 bands stopped playing together. On June 30, 2000, a massive crowd of people formed to see Pearl Jam at Denmark's Roskilde Festival. Eventually the show started and it was great until an hour in. 8 men from the ages 17 to 26 were killed from suffocation in a mosh pit. Another man died at the hospital 5 days later. 26 other people were injured. Unfortunately, the chaos of the concert got very out of control, and unfortunately it caused the 9 deaths of this concert. According to singer of the band Eddie Vedder, he said that the band didn't even know what was happening until it was too late. They figured out what was happening when somebody from the crowd was pulled off to the side whose skin was blue. It is also theorized that there was wet mud on the ground, which might have caused some people to slip and cause their injuries. A report came out that Pearl Jam was morally wrong for the incident. However, Pearl Jam argued that all the deaths and injuries from this weren't all accidents. They also said if they were informed of what was happening, they would have stopped the show and more people could have been saved. In 2020, the band posted a tribute for the 20-year anniversary of this tragedy. To this day, the band is still together and they still tour. On August 13, 2011, the National Weather Service was warning Indiana of a thunderstorm. However, during this time, the Indiana State Fair was going on. At 8:45 p.m., a band known as Sugarland was scheduled to perform at the fair. However, at 8 p.m., Sidney Hoy, who was the executive director of the Indiana State Fair Commission, had a meeting to go over the weather conditions. The storm was expected to start in the area of the fair at 9:15 p.m. Sydney said she wanted to delay the concert until the storm passed. The message was passed on to Sugarland's managers, but they wanted to start the scheduled time. Now, the only thing that the managers were informed of was that it was only supposed to rain, and they were never informed that there was supposed to be a storm. At 8:30 p.m., Sydney met up with the state police captain, Brad Weaver, who told Sydney that he was concerned about the upcoming weather conditions. Weaver told Sydney that she should cancel the concert, and there should also be an escape plan for the crowd. Sydney took Weaver's advice about preparing an evacuation, but did not cancel the show. At 8:39 p.m., the National Weather Service warned the area of strong winds and severe hail. However, both Sydney and Weaver didn't receive this message. At 8:45 p.m., the announcer told the crowd that there was a storm coming. However, the show would still continue, and they also told the crowd how to evacuate the area in worst-case scenario. The concert was set to start at 8:50 p.m. However, at 8:46 p.m., a massive gust of wind hit the stage and caused it to collapse. This accident killed 7 people and injured 58. The investigation revealed that the concert barriers and tension cables that held up the stage were not tight. After this horrible incident, a lawsuit took place, which led to a $50 million settlement. Alright, thank you all for watching. I just finished editing the video. Hope you all enjoyed. I will be making more videos like this in the future, so if you did enjoy them, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, more content coming like this soon. I want to try to do one video every 2 weeks, so yeah, that's my goal. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you all later. Have a good one, and goodbye.